This is your weekly Iuptv News Bulletin, broadcast from Davis Hall. I'm Sequoia Van Camp.
I'm Taylor Schaefer.
And I'm Jackie Gillis. Today we will bring you stories that are relevant to IUP and the Indiana community. We will begin with local news. On Friday night, the KCAC was covered in streamers as campaign co-chairs Bill and Audrey Medea announced the new goal of comprehensive fundraising campaign Imagine Unlimited. It is now $75 million. Also, two multi-million-dollar gifts from alumni were also announced that night.
The city of Pittsburgh has dealt with a very large number of mudslides this spring at a cost of approximately $12 million. In contrast, the city only budgeted $1 million for mudslide repairs. Mayor Bill Peduto has convened a mudslide task force to see how Pittsburgh can avoid a situation like this in the future.
Pittsburgh-based realtor Dick's Sporting Goods will destroy assault-style rifles pulled from their shelves at its Field and Stream stores as a result of policy changes in response to the school shooting in Parkland, Florida. The weapons will be destroyed in accordance with federal guidelines, and the materials will be recycled. Parent company Dick's Sporting Goods stores have not sold them since shortly after the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in 2012.
The Communications, Media, and Instructional Technology PhD program gave my life direction.
This program was perfect for me with a combination of research and media production. Hands-on courses gave me skills that I now pass on to my students. I use all three areas of the program, production, theory, and research, every day in my job as a college professor.
Learn how the CMIT PhD program can change your life. Visit iup.edu/CMIT.
Following the recent U.S. military action in Syria, Congress is preparing to debate a new war authorization that would allow the president to move the war on terror into places such as Afghanistan, Yemen, and Somalia. The new proposal, co-sponsored by Senators Tim Kaine and Bob Corker, would also seek to limit the president's authority to engage in new conflicts. It would do this by naming the groups against which the United States can wage war without additional approval by Congress, as well as establishing a 4-year congressional review period, when Congress would be able to expand or shrink the president's authority. If passed, this would be the first new war authorization since 2001.
Last Wednesday, hundreds of members of the IUP community marched across campus to raise awareness of sexual violence. The event called Take Back the Night. Kiana Pulchin has the story.
IUP celebrates Take Back the Night with an annual march, participated by students, faculty members, and the community. The event acts as a reminder to bring awareness to sexual assault and provide support to victims. It begins in the Putt Delaney courtyard and ends in the Hub Ohio room, where victims are welcome to share their stories. The Haven Project at IUP is the main organization behind this action. Take Back the Night is celebrated annually around the world. Started in 1960, the celebration is intended to end sexual violence. Today, at least 36 countries celebrate Take Back the Night. The event is primarily celebrated on college campuses, military bases, and in high schools.
It's so important to participate in an event like this because it's not just a women's issue, it's for everyone, and this should be everyone's issue. And I participate personally because I identify as an intersectional feminist, and I care for all women regardless of race, or origin, nationality, religion. And so because this is everyone's issue, everyone should be here.
IUP has celebrated this event for many, many years. This year, it is expected to be different, not only in the size of the march, but also the message.
So last year we had over 2,200 students participate in the march, and then we had about 400 come to the Speak Out afterwards in the Hub Ohio room. This year we're probably feeling like we're going to get around the same 400 for the Speak Out, just because that's how many the room holds. But as for the march, we're hoping to break 2,500 students and community members this year. And as always, we're hoping that every year it gets more organized and it runs even smoother than in past years.
In addition, the controversial Me Too movement might somehow affect the message shared in this event as well.
So the Me Too movement was started a few years ago, but really gained traction right after the new year when some Hollywood actresses started saying, "I was sexually harassed, I've been sexually assaulted, #MeToo." And then it transformed into more actresses and more actors coming forward. And then it trickled down into the mainstream public and said, if everyone who experienced this said #MeToo, then we would get a real scope of how big this problem is. So then kind of everyone started sharing it, at least that I could see, saying, well, I've been sexually harassed, I've been sexually assaulted, or I've been raped. and it really gives perspective to how often these sort of things happen with our society. So we've always had a Say No More campaign because of the No More organization, but this year we have No More Me Too. So the idea is that we don't want any more people to have to say that they too have been affected by sexual or gender-based violence.
With April being National Sexual Assault Awareness Month, IUP shares its support to many victims with this event.
This is my 4th year participating in Take Back the Night. As a senior, I think it's really important to raise awareness for sexual violence and rape crisis. It's a very taboo topic, so I think educating the public on it is a good way to raise awareness for everybody, including the student body here at IUP.
Attendees came to the event not only to show solidarity, but also to learn from victims through the Speak Out event, so they can also avoid similar things in the future. Some came individually, but also in groups. Statistics show that young women are the most vulnerable group, although men can also be victims of sexual violence.
I feel that it's important, I have survivors in my family of rape and various sexual abuse, but I feel like this event is important because it really promotes awareness whenever there are many. Surprisingly, there's a surprising amount of ignorant people out there who either don't believe that this happens as often as it does or in the severity that it does. And unfortunately today there are still many people who believe that it's the survivor's fault, the victim's fault, or they put themselves in those positions when really it should never be anyone's fault at any age, any gender, no matter how they dress or how they look.
Participants of the event marched around campus, led by Dr. Driscoll, waving their signs high and their voices loud in support of bringing awareness to sexual abuse.
2, 3, 4. This is what we're fighting for. 5, 6, 7, 8. No more violence, no more rape. 1, 2.
Earth Day will be this Sunday. Our team wants to see how we have tried to do something to our environment through recycling. Our reporter, Emily Luce, visited our neighborhood to find out how we have implemented these practices.
There are many things about nature that are beautiful. Whether it be the fresh air or the look of the area, we all want to be able to keep nature looking nice. An easy way for us to help out? Recycle. For some time, IUP has incorporated recycling bins into most buildings here on campus. Just this year, IUP has started doing single-stream recycling, where all items go commingling into one container. Curious to see if recycling was actually working here, I talked to some students on campus about why they recycle.
I recycle because we're damaging our planet, it's dying, and I want to help in any way I can. Humanity has caused a significant amount of damage, and even if just recycling won't do it, it'll help.
I recycle because it is beneficial from both an environmental and economic standpoint. Waste disposal is extremely detrimental to our ecosystem, and through recycling, we can reduce the amount of waste.
Drs. Jonathan Warnick and Chris Jeffords are co-directors of the school's Sustainability Studies program, an interdisciplinary minor that teaches sustainability through such things as environment, natural sciences, and ethics. They talked to me about other ways that students can help out aside from recycling.
When students are making decisions, they can kind of question and look at the products that they're buying and check out what those footprints of those products may be, depending on if that information is provided to them, or they can attempt to look that stuff up on their own, which is really important to seek out information rather than wait for information to be provided to them about particular issues.
But why should we help the environment?
We like to talk about the environment as sort of like this separate thing, but we are part of the environment. The birds, the bees, the plants and the trees, it's all connected. We need ecosystem services, what we call it. The ground, the soil, plants help to filter our water to make it cleaner so that we don't have to spend the energy and the money to process it. Bugs and bats and birds and all these different things are pollinators, and without those natural pollinators, we don't get to grow as many food crops, and then there's health impacts and there's economic impacts. There's no way to separate humanity from Earth, and we need a functioning Earth to maintain the levels of population we have, the lifestyle that we have. We really need a functioning ecosystem.
Even if it might not seem like much, these ways can be a huge help that will be appreciated by more than just us. The campus is for everyone to love and enjoy, including the squirrels and other animals that come by. As Earth Day approaches, remember to pick up garbage and to recycle, as well as use the ideas that Dr. Jeffers and Dr. Warnick gave. Something this little could be a definite change for the environment. From Iuptv News, I'm Emily Lose.
The past few weeks, we have reported about the ILEP teachers in IUP. I visited one of their activities when they shared information of their countries and culture to IUP students and the community.
So this is the map of my country. It's a small one. The size is almost similar like the Pennsylvania, and this is the largest human flag. We are actually a lot of people in our country, 160 million. So we made this largest flag, and this is our language movement monument. We offer our respect to the martyrs who shed their blood during 1952 to respect, actually to establish Bangla as the official language. So this was very significant in terms of our history. And that time we were together with Pakistan, and this is our national leader, the father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He told that we were actually expecting a military attack from Pakistan side, and he warned people.
For 3 consecutive years, IUP hosted more than a dozen teachers from around the world. The teachers were involved in International Leaders in Education Program, or ILEP. This year, 16 teachers represent 9 countries. Among them are from Ghana, Morocco, the Philippines, Bangladesh, and Indonesia. They were selected based on their accomplishments and teachings, as well as their commitment to their students.
It was a pretty rigorous process. They have to show excellence at their schools. They have to be teacher leaders. So besides all the teaching duties, they have to show that they are willing to raise up the status of the students. Many of their communities are impoverished, and so they've really led the way to form some excellence in the students themselves.
The main islands are called Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, the capital of which is called Manila. In the Philippines, we can offer you the best diving sites, the best surfing sites, and the best mountaineering sites.
With humanity, if Philippines never exists on the map of the world, you will not be able to complete the list of the 7 wonder cities of the world. Why? Because this is where you can find Vegas City. And you will not also be able to complete the list of the 7 wonders of nature of the world, because this is where you can find the underground river in Palawan.
While they were here in IUP, the teachers had a chance to learn best practices in teaching with the hope that they can apply them in their home countries.
Obviously, my main focus is education system. So the teaching strategies, especially the student-centered learning system, I learn a lot how to engage the students in student-centered class. So I will definitely apply them in my school, and I will train more than 100 of the teachers about these technologies and the systems.
This past Wednesday, the ILEP teachers participated in an event called Bridging Educational Systems Across the Globe, where they introduced their country through traditional attire, food, song, or dance, with the hope to create a better understanding on the education and culture, not only to students, but also Indiana community.
The presentation was very nice. I know my culture, but this time I learned my culture better. Not only that, but I learned so many culture from another participant. So this event is so very good for us to have a better understanding about another people.
Having been in Indiana for 3 months since early January, the ILEP teachers described how this experience helped them understand American culture.
Yeah, I said that some people in my country have a stereotype about America, but I find here they are very good, very nice.
The International Education Office has seen that such adaptation is very strong, along with a good relationship and understanding among the ILEP teachers.
The ILED Fellows really rely on each other, and they're really a family together because they have left their families. They've made a lot of sacrifices to come here. So they've learned the ropes, they've learned survival skills here, where to get the specific foods that they need to feel at home. But really they rely on each other, and they can help each other when they do get homesick. Technology has been a really great help because they're able to contact their families whenever they feel homesick.
ILEP programs have been one of IUP's accomplishments in securing grants from the Educational and Cultural Affairs Bureau and IREX, the program to support a cultural exchange between secondary teachers all over the world. This is Jackie Gillis reporting for IUP TV News.
I fell in love with the campus, with the people, with my IUP life. See it for yourself. Visit us. Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Find your success.
Coming up, Taylor Schaefer will bring you sports and health stories. Stay tuned.
It's hard to explain. It just became home. There are hundreds of majors and programs, bachelor's degrees to PhDs, small classes and faculty that really get to know you. Amazing internships and everywhere, programs that help to find a job that is right for you. It's what IUP is about, a commitment to your success. See it for yourself. Visit us. Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Find your success.
Around 1 in 3 people have at least mild insomnia. 30 to 35% have brief symptoms. 15 to 20% have short-term insomnia disorder, which lasts less than 3 months, and 10% have a chronic insomnia disorder, which occurs at least 3 times per week for 3 months. Chronic insomnia can have a negative impact on your health, including common symptoms like fatigue, inability to focus or concentrate, poor memory, mood disturbance, daytime sleepiness, low motivation and energy, and an increase in errors or accidents. To prevent that, you can take a number of foods that can be beneficial to sleep, like edamame, hard-boiled eggs, miso soup, cereal, broccoli, dairy, bananas, and also oatmeal.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer-lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star and who can change the world of a 5th grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
There is a new trend in beauty and health that involves charcoal for hair, skin, and nails. Activated charcoal is a potent natural treatment used to trap toxins and chemicals in the body, allowing them to be flushed out so the body doesn't reabsorb them. This has led to the use of charcoal for whitening teeth, alleviating gas and bloating, water filtration, digestive cleansing, anti-aging, reducing high cholesterol, and lastly, treating alcohol poisoning and preventing hangovers.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov, a public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
That's interesting. Thank you for that, Taylor.
Absolutely. It's always nice to learn something new. Speaking of new, is there anything going on at the Pittsburgh Zoo?
Absolutely. The Pittsburgh Zoo has decided to celebrate World Oceans Day earlier this year. This weekend there will be events held in the PPG Aquarium from 9 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday. Those will include keeper conversations, animal enrichment sessions, and a special art exhibit featuring local artists.
Another event that you can go to on Sunday in Pittsburgh to celebrate Earth Day is Market Square in downtown Pittsburgh will host a world market on Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. as a part of celebrating Earth Day. This will include friendly products from around the world in addition to educational vendors and live music.
Next week, we will bring you stories related to Earth Day as well as events around IUP and Indiana, PA. Please stay tuned. We'll see you next week.